morning 12th class. I hope you all are safe at your home, right? Today we will discuss the different pressures which are related to each other in the plant water relationship, right? The different pressure, how the different pressures are exerted in the plants during the transportation of water, or during the absorption of water, or during the excretion of the water. Simply you can say that the exit of the water. So how the pressures are maintained, and what are the function of these pressure in the plants. Firstly, we will discuss about the osmotic pressure. As the name indicates, osmosis means the movement of water from region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration through a semi-permeable membrane, right? So what is the meaning of osmotic pressure? Osmotic pressure, when you mix a solute particles into the solvent particle, then what will happen? Then there is some barriers will be present for the movement of the water from the outer to the inner environment of the cell. Simply you can say that. So the osmotic pressure is generated due to the dissolution of solute particle which prevent the entry of water into the cell. Simply you can say that. So that that pressure is called the osmotic pressure, which is generally exerted with the solute particles, the concentration of the solute particles. In other words, the osmotic pressure is directly proportional to the concentration of the solute particles. When the solute particle increases in the solution, the osmotic pressure will be also increases in that solution. Simply. Next is your tertiary pressure and the wall pressure. When you kept your cell in a water, in a hypotonic solution, then due to endosmosis, we know that due to endosmosis there is continuously intake of water takes place into the cell. When the continuously water move into the cell become turgid, or endosmosis takes place, right? This pressure which is exerted due to the solvent which enter into the cell, this pressure is called the tertiary pressure, right? If tertiary pressure is continuously increased, so there will be the chances the bursting of the cell takes place. So the wall of the cell also exert and pressure is called the wall pressure, which is equal and opposite to the tertiary pressure. It means when the tertiary pressure increases, equal amount of wall pressure also exert by the cell to prevent themselves for the bursting. Otherwise, if there is no wall pressure, there is the bursting of the cell takes place due to the swelling, due to the excess intake of the water, due to the endosmosis. So tertiary pressure is due to the solvent, and wall pressure which is exerted by the cell wall when the solvent molecules become excess in the cell after the endosmosis, you can say that. Next is the diffusion pressure defect, right? Okay, what is the meaning of diffusion? Movement of particles from region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. Simply, if we add some solute particles, right, or you can say that when the osmotic pressure of any cell is increased, osmotic pressure due to solute particles, if you add the solute particles in the solution, then there is the movement of the particle will be interrupted due to these solute particles. So this is the defect which is occurred due to the solute particles, is called the diffusion pressure defect. The diffusion pressure defect is maximum of the pure water, because there is no solute molecules are present in the pure water. When you start up to dissolve the solute molecules into the water, then what will happen? The pressure will the pressure is generated is called the dpd, which become decreased due to the solute particle, because these solute particle prevent the movement of the water molecule into and out of the cell. Simply, right? Now what are the relation between these three pressures? If your cell is flaccid means there is it means exosmosis takes place. When you put your cell in hypertonic solution, then due to the protoplasm exit out from the cell, this condition is called the flaccid cell, right? We know that dpd is equal to op minus tp. Simply, op is the osmotic pressure and tertiary pressure is the water pressure, solvent pressure. Simply, so in the flaccid cell there is no tertiary pressure because there is no water. If there is no solvent, there is no pressure, so tertiary pressure will be 0 in case of flaccid cell, simply in that condition the dPd is equal to the osmotic pressure. It means when the osmotic pressure is increases, dPd is decreases. When dPd is increases, osmotic pressure is decreases. When the What is the meaning of osmotic pressure? When the solute are increased, it will increase. When the solute molecules are increased, it will be decreased simply, right? Next, if your cell is turgid it means if you put your cell in a hypotonic solution, then continuously due to the endoosmosis it become turgid. It means there is turgid pressure will be survive in that condition. Turgid pressure will be there, right? Okay, now we will talk about the osmotic pressure. Is there osmotic pressure will be there? No, because here the turgid pressure is exert due to the solvent particle. It means solute particle are absent in that case. So there is no solute particle, so there is no osmotic pressure. So in that condition, in the turgid cell, there is no osmotic pressure. It means osmotic pressure will be 0. And we know that in the turgid cell the osmotic pressure is equal to the turgid pressure. So if the osmotic pressure is 0, it means the turgid pressure will also be 0. So in that condition dPd will be 0, because there is no turgid and there is no osmotic pressure. If there is no osmotic pressure, then there is no turgid pressure will be survive. So dPd of the turgid cell will be 0. This is the different type of pressure which exerted by the hypotonic and hypertonic solution by the cells. Next is the water potential. What is the meaning of water potential? Okay, the solvent have a free, every substance have a free energy for their doing work simply. There is a free energy is present for doing work, right? Similarly, water also have a free energy for the movement from higher concentration to the lower concentration, right? When we dissolve solute particles with the solvent, then there will be this free energy of the water molecule will be decreased as compared to the pure water. Pure water molecule have more free energy as compared to the soluted water. When you put the solute molecule into the pure water, there is solution formation takes place, and this solution have less free energy. This water molecule, this solutions water molecule have less free energy. So difference between these free energy of pure water and the solution of the water is actually called the water potential, and it is represented by the psi or bar. It is called the psi, or it is measured by in the bar. It is a pressure. Water potential is a pressure actually, right? When you dissolve solute particle into the water molecule, into a pure water, then what will happen? Slowly the osmotic pressure will be increased in that condition. Osmotic pressure means which prevent the entry of the water from the cell inside and outside to inside simply. So the osmotic pressure is generated in the pure water when you dissolve the solute particle simply. It means so osmotic pressure and solute potential will be equal to each other. There will be the difference between the charges. The osmotic pressure will always be positive in charge, and osmotic potential will be negative in nature. So osmotic potential and pressure will be exerted due to the mixing of the solute into the solution simply, into the water, right? Okay, so we represent the this is the psi for water potential. Water potential is generally equal to the solute potential, right? Plus when the solute is dissolved into a solution, then there is a pressure, there is a turgid pressure is also maintained. There is a pressure is exerted, is called the pressure potential, which actually inhibit the movement of the water from in to out and out to in of the cell. So that pressure is called the pressure potential. So solute potential or the osmotic potential, you can say that solute means the osmotic potential, because due to the solute molecule osmotic potential is generated, is the mixture of this water potential is the sum of solute potential and the pressure potential. every cell have a liquid material is present, is called the protoplasm or the matrix. So every cell have a matrix, and the pressure which is exerted by this matrix is called the matrix potential, right? It means the water potential is also depend upon the matrix potential of the cell also. So this is the relationship between the water potential, solute potential, pressure potential and matrix potential, right? Your last topic is the imbibition. What is the meaning of imbibition? The solid particles absorb the liquid molecule, but there is no formation of solution takes place. This process is called the imbibition. For example, the wooden door and window during the rainy season, they absorb the water, but there is no formation of solution takes place. This process is called the imbibition actually. And the surface which absorb the absorbent surface which absorb the water molecule, or the solid surface which absorb the water, this surface is called the imbibent. Imbibent means solid surface which absorb the liquid, and this process is called the imbibation. It is a very important process for the seed germination and the splitting of the seeds outside, and for convert into root, stem and leaves, simply you can say that. So it is a very important process for the plants. In case of imbibition, there is no solution takes place. Absorption takes place by the solid, but there is no solution is formed by the mixing of solute and solvent simply. So this is all about the plant water relationship, how the plant and water related to each other, how they pressure are exerted, and what are the relationship between these pressure in case of plant, right? This is all about the chapter number 5th. It has been completed today. Thank you.